Hello, and welcome to the We Are Power podcast. If this is your first time here, the We Are Power podcast is the podcast for you, your career, and your life. We release an episode every single Monday with listeners in over 60 countries worldwide, where you'll hear personal life stories, top-notch industry advice, and key leadership insight from amazing role models. As We Are Power is the umbrella brand to Northern Power Women Awards, which celebrates hundreds of female role models and advocates every year. This is where you can hear stories from all of our awards alumni and stay up to date with everything MPW Awards and We Are Power. Well, today I am absolutely thrilled and honoured to be joined by the legend that is Cath Cummings, powerlister, just amazing human. Cath, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you have built a career over 22 years in policing, haven't you? Did you always know you wanted to be in policing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a little bit more than that now, 23 and a half years. So,
did it take some time off you?
You did, yeah, but that's fine. You can have that. You can set that back. I did. I always wanted to be in the police. You don't need to submit any referral or anything, but I had an obsession with serial killers and murders, etc., and thought, wow, could I do that? You know, things that you see on the TV, the books, etc. So yes, that is weird. So we always had a plan. I was always going to go to uni because I was told if you go to uni and get a degree, you might get promoted quicker. That's not the case. So my plan was join the police, but if I don't get in, what am I going to do? So I thought, well, do you know what? Maybe teaching. So I applied to different unis and I got an interview offer at Plymouth University. I lived in Blackburn at the time, so I had to get the bus down. It took 8.5 hours to get to Plymouth. I know, it was painful.
Yeah.
And went into the interview and they said, so Cath, tell us why you want to be a teacher. I said, well, actually, I want to be in the police, but if I don't get in, then I'd like to teach. Yeah, I didn't get accepted.
You're my plan B right from the start.
Yeah, so off to Edge Hill, I went and did English instead. So that's where my journey started with Merseyside Police as soon as I'd finished there with the degree.
And tell me, you just talked about serial killers. Who was the serial killer you wished you could have been responsible for bringing down?
Wow. I've never thought of it like that, but the Fred and Rose West murders, I always thought, wow. I even read the SIO's book, which again is sad, but I thought, how do you solve that? How do you go from a missing person report and some concerns had been missed about one of the children to just move on to dismantling a whole house? It was that was fascinating, I thought.
Yeah, that's bringing in a whole lot of stakeholders into the mix there, isn't it? Not just your tent that you pop up in the garden.
Yeah.
And you have a mantra that I love. I love this. In a world where you can be anything, be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone said to me once, what's your brand? And, I was thinking about going for a promotion process. Your brand's not well known. And I thought, I don't know what my brand is. I'm just me. And so it always stuck with me that. And I thought, I don't need to be put into a box. I'm just as good as anybody else that's going for it. And so that's always stuck with me, that.
I love that, because I think that's it. We talk a lot, isn't it, about bringing your whole self to work, isn't it? So, and don't try and be other people.
Exactly.
Don't try, because that person's taken. That role is taken. So I'm always a bit like, you be you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same.
And how would you describe yourself in 3 words? I could give you a sentence at a push. I'll negotiate up.
3 words to describe myself. Okay. Authentic, honest, motivated.
And that sticks with the authentic and honest, sticks with your mantra, right?
Yeah, I suppose it does.
And your experience, so there's your personal brand, me.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Your experience spans so many areas, from domestic abuse, child protection, through to homicide and covert policing. That's some portfolio, isn't it? You talk about people at senior levels of their career having a portfolio career. Yeah. Flipping heck, that's such a range. But when you look back, what has been the toughest part of that work?
It's all tough, but in different ways. But I think the toughest time of my career was the Ashley Dale murder investigation. It was significantly high profile. There'd already been a firearms murder the week before, which was Sam Rimmer. And then within 48 hours, there was little Olivia that was also fatally murdered. So that was significant for Merseyside and for Merseyside Police. There was a lot of pressure on all the senior investigating officers involved there, on the staff. We also had a film crew in with us that had been in several months before. But once the murders happened, they were in it was a prime location for them to focus on the murder investigations. But walking through the door every morning with minimal sleep, having a lot of pressure on your shoulders, a lot of senior officers and the Home Secretary all wanting updates. And then you walk through the door and there's a film crew ready to mic you up and start following you around. So every move was being watched. So that was a significant time. And then at the same time, my mum was terminally ill at the time. So what people don't see on the documentary is the backwards and forwards to hospitals over in Burnley. That was an hour's drive there and back, and having all that to contend with, it was, a lot of resilience needed.
And you can't just go and buy a bit of a measure of resilience. How did you deal with that, from being in front of the cameras to having the Home Secretary on the phone to then having that hour mental drive? It's much been a hard drive over to see your mum.
Yeah. I don't know how I got through it. I honestly look back and think, I don't know how I did that, but I've got an amazing partner, which was great. And I couldn't have done it without her.
And what do you think you learned most about yourself in that time?
That I'm probably more resilient than I think, because I got through it. And to get a successful outcome as well for Ashley's mum and her family and her friends, that was just, that was phenomenal. And that's not just down to me, that's the team around me as well. But yeah, that was amazing. So to come all the way through that, and my mum would have been proud.
And you talk about your mum. What's your mum's name?
Barbara,
and your partner. We all need people around us to hold us up at times, don't we? Even if we're the toughest, most resilient, strongest Northern Power women we know, right? But the importance of that and being vulnerable at times, I imagine you had to be.
Yeah. And some standouts as well. I had 2 detective inspectors, both male. They were amazing. And I've made sure that they know about that, because there was times where I had to take a step back, not for long, but I knew I could trust them to just run with it, and they'd take additional pressures off me as well. So they were fantastic.
And a thread through everything you've done is that it is that vulnerable and authentic leadership. Going back to you being you, from sort of growing up to going to uni to going for your plan B teacher job and then into the policing. What do you think your leadership style has been? Do you think it's been consistently authentic and vulnerable?
That is one thing I can definitely say, yes. And visible. What people get with me is I'm there, it's me, and people seem to come along with me. So, again, I think that's down to being authentic. They're not being asked to do anything that I wouldn't do myself or that I haven't done. So, yeah.
And what was the Ashley Dale murder, getting that resolution for the family and for Ashley, that has to be one of the most rewarding times?
Absolutely. Yeah. To hear a jury stand up, and my heart was going, and I'd said to Julie, can I just sit behind you on your shoulder when we next go back into the courtroom? Because it was a journey where we'd come along together, and she didn't know until the trial about my mum, and then I'd lost my mum in that period of time, and then she did, and I just said, well, I've done this for you, can I just sit behind you? And then when you hear the foreperson stand up and say guilty, oh my days. And then it's like white noise. You can't hear anything else apart from your own heartbeat and just thinking, what's the next one going to say? What's the next one? And it was just phenomenal. But Julie then standing up and just grabbing hold of me and saying, thank you for everything. Because they heard and saw things in that trial that at the time and before trial, I couldn't tell them. Told them a lot, but they understood professionally that they couldn't hear everything for certain reasons until they went, and they just couldn't believe the level of detail that we got into and what we'd found out during the course of the investigation. So to then receive that thanks from them was amazing.
And what about the film crew? How was that? Like, because you've got a job to do, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, it didn't go down well when I first briefed the teams that the crew were coming in.
How did you break that news?
Yeah, well, as best I could, to be fair. But it was like tumbleweeds. I could look at everyone's face of, I'm not doing that. And I thought, don't worry, it's me that they're interested in. It's me that they'll be following round. And there was a lot of reluctance of people not wanting to engage in it. But they'd been with us that long. I was concerned when we had what we call SIO conferences. So everybody comes together. I chair it and I go round a room. Everyone has a voice and everyone has an opportunity to give ideas, suggestions, etc. But update on what they've done, and it's great seeing a jigsaw start to come together because everyone's got a little piece to do, and then we all bring it back. But not everyone likes talking in front of everyone. There was a lot of officers all in a conference room. And I just thought with the crews being there that they wouldn't speak. And then the nervousness is it hindering the investigation because I've got to know everything that's going on to then make other decisions. And at first there was the quietness where you just had to say, right, they're stopping recording. This is me and us now. We all need to speak. You can forget about that because it's further down the line. Just take a notice that they're here, ignore them. There'll be loads of editing. Now can we start again? And then people just start to forget that they were there. So it became part of the furniture. But even that, one of the producers from LA Production actually came because they'd been involved, not necessarily with the filming, but a lot of the editing and bringing the documentary together. They sat all the way through the trial. And again, seeing people breaking down, crying, seeing it come to that conclusion. There is no feeling like it that when you've been on an 18-month plus journey, to hear then someone members of the jury have understood what you presented to them and then come back with that decision and it being the right decision. It's just phenomenal. I can't describe how it feels. But
having that film crew there, often you can worry and think, gosh, what if it's represented wrong, how it's misedited? You only have to watch some of the reality shows to see that. This is a reality show on a whole different level, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like they were part of the team. They weren't against you.
Yeah, they did actually feel part of the team, which was bizarre. But what I'd also say is, there were challenging times. There was challenging times where I've had to have difficult conversations, shall we say, with people. And I forgot they were filming, so you'd have to go back and say, you cannot use that. And they were really respectful and they engaged us all the way through with the edits. We got to see with chief officers and various other people around the table the first edits of an episode, and it rolled like that. And I've never been involved in anything like that before, but having that professional challenge of, for these reasons, that you can't include that, etc. And they were really respectful. That brings me on to Ashley's mum. So this was all going on. And at any point, if Julie had said, you are not doing this, then it wouldn't have ever been aired. It'd have stopped. And I knew that, but I think one of the toughest things I had to think about telling Julie, going round on a family visit, was about this documentary. It was the only thing that made me nervous. Not about updates, not about some of the challenges that we had through the investigation. It was about, we've got a film crew that's been in filming for the last several months about the murder investigation of your daughter. which was a shock to her. We introduced her with the production company. She met some of the film crew. And then, you know, how she had that strength, but then Julie got involved in it, and it was good to have her part of it and her part of that decision making.
But is this where, you know, through your career, one of the key threads is protecting vulnerable people?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Julie will have been as strong as she is, but equally super vulnerable during this whole time. Has that always been a pull for you, working with vulnerable individuals?
It's why I joined. I've always wanted to do the right thing, and I can't bear seeing injustice to people, and especially, I mean, that'll have been Julie's or one of the most vulnerable times of her life, with no decision making, just everything put in front of her. So yeah, that's the main pull of why I joined the police service.
And for people who aren't sure, you know, you will have been aware of the high-profile case of Ashley Dale, but on a day-to-day basis, you're leading complex, high-profile investigations, aren't you, every day? How, for people who are watching or listening today, what does that day actually look like? And I'm imagining no 2 days are the same. Yeah. But does it ever get, I'm not going to say simpler, more routine, or is every single one completely unique? Seems like a daft question, that, but
no, it doesn't. There's some days you walk through, you never know what you're going to walk into every day, so it is different. It's far from mundane. There are times where things settle down, and I suppose I talk about that as my norm, because I'll go in and that'll be normal to me because I've done it so long. But if you speak to other people, it's chaos.
And, you know, family liaison, working with Julie, working with other families is key for you. But what does it mean to you personally? How do you look after yourself? Where's your self-care? Don't be looking down the back of the couch for it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really reflect like that. I'm more focused on being bothered about other people, really. But you're right. Should self-reflect and self-care more.
And what do you do in your down times? What's your kind of free your mind day off? Dare I say, it's probably difficult to ever have a day off, but what do you do with that time?
Love the Lake District, walking, just being out there in the fresh air. Can't beat it.
And the wind and rain. It's always windy. It's the most beautiful place in the wind and rain in the world, isn't it?
And the rest,
exactly. Yeah. Other brands are available, Cath.
Yes, absolutely.
And have you 23 and a half years now, I've put the year and a half back on now, right? Into the, you're in a senior leadership role. Have you seen that change? Is that, often you can go into senior roles and you lose some of the stuff that you love doing. Have you still been able to keep doing the stuff that you love?
I have, up to the point of the DCI role as the SIO in the major incident team, because I just think that that's the last kind of operational role that you will have once you start going through the ranks. But that's probably not so true, because going up again, I'd probably find myself as a detective superintendent potentially doing similar. But you just end up having a greater, what's the word I'm looking for? Sphere of influence, where you can see things that aren't working, so you can make sure they do work for the good of everybody, and obviously the public. I've not really answered that very well, have I?
No, that's all good. That's all good. Let me talk to you about role models. Who are the role models that you saw when you joined up?
When I joined, okay. So my gran was a big influence, and in particular in joining. She didn't want me to join though, however, it wasn't safe, or she would think. My mum always wanted to join, but she was too short, so she didn't get into Lancashire Women's Police. Probably the best thing, really. She was a little bit feisty, my mother. So, but she was dead proud.
Be more Barbara.
Be more Babs, yeah. She was dead proud of me getting into the police, and because she'd probably wanted to done it as well. But Yeah, I was going to say a phrase should come out with, but probably best not.
It's okay. We can put an alert on it. Say it.
Yeah,
What would Babs say? Yeah,
Babs would say, "Get the bastards, Catherine, and give them a dig on the way down." Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. But you can't quite do that.
And if there's someone that's watching or listening now who thought, you know what, I didn't really see this. I'm not sure policing is for me, or I never thought it for me. But actually, I'm really motivated, inspired by what you say. What would you say to them?
Join. It's the best career, and it's not a job, because anyone can go and get a job. Well, not just anyone, but it's absolutely a career. It is challenging. You know, it's not always easy, but this sounds so simple. When you get a thank you card sent in by a victim or a member of the public, honestly, it blows you away. 'Cause you think you've had the time to go out and I've obviously impacted on you because you've thought about it. As you've gone to a shop, you've bought a card, you've thought about what to write, then you've gone and got a stamp and then walked to go and post it.
No one does that anymore. It's a WhatsApp, it's a text.
It's so
or it's
simple.
or it's a no time to do it.
Yeah, and it means a lot, really does.
Now, I've got to ask this, but picture Cath back at the age of 10 years old. You won karaoke.
I did, yeah.
Yeah? What was your song, Cath?
Hopelessly Devoted to You by Olivia Newton-John. Yes, there was a bit of an obsession. Yeah.
And does that still come out the locker at any point now? Family gatherings, parties, you know, does it come out?
Every now and then, and there's even a cutout of Olivia that's in the loft. She comes down every birthday. Yeah.
I don't quite know where to go with that, quite frankly. Now, who would you sing with now if you were going to do another duet? See, I'm a big fan. Islands in the Stream, Dolly, you know.
Yeah.
Got to be more Dolly.
Yeah.
What would your song of choice be now?
And I do have a song of choice.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can't remember it. It's gone out of my head. It's normally in Florida after a few beers. Black Velvet.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I
Not
can sing you
singing.
now. Not now?
No,
Really?
No.
Okay, we'll get you back. We'll get back for a Christmas edition. After hours edition. That's what
Right.
we'll do. Couple of wines and we'll have you on that. It's all good. Looking back to that 10-year-old Cath, where was that? Where was the karaoke competition?
So we used to go as a family to a caravan site in North Devon. We used to go for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Every now and then we were allowed to take a friend. And I am extremely shy. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but I am. And the first week I stood up in front of a load of people. You see, my mum and dad, they used to drop me and my little sister off and they'd have kids clubs and all kinds on. And then on a Friday night in the big, I don't know, what do you call it, like the pub and entertainment area, there was karaoke.
Complex.
Yeah. And I first signed up and won singing the Olivia Newton-John with a big fringe, bum bag on, hands behind my back, stood straight, and won this raccoon thing, cuddly toy. Took that back to the caravan. The second week, I joined up to do it again, and I won again.
Two
So
raccoons?
my mum and dad, 2 raccoons.
Oh, but you had a sister.
I did.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Yeah, but my mum and dad thought I'd been stealing. She took me straight back down and pleaded my innocence. They went, no, she's won it. And they were like, she would never stand up in front of a room full of people. Anyway, the third week they came down to watch me and won again.
You can only have so many raccoons, can't you?
Of course you can. And bad fringe and bum bag.
Yeah. I used to cut my fringe myself and it was always a little bit ropey, but you know, I was a woman of an era. It was all good and just stood wonky. What advice would you give to that 10-year-old Cath now, other than get on that stage and stand up straight?
Yeah, exactly. Believe in yourself.
And do you, like you talked about when you were going through the trial and the 2 guys, you know, kind of the times you had to kind of go, I need to just take a moment here to kind of step out, and they leaned in. Is there a structure of kind of that mentorship, sponsorship within the service, within the police service?
Oh yeah. I mean, I even do mentoring coaching myself as well, because I've had a mentor. It's someone you can sound off to, look for ideas, look up to, take yourself out of a comfort zone and have that honest conversation and that chat of where you're up to, and it's inside work and outside work. So there are some good schemes and there's some great people at Merseyside.
And how do you keep learning? You've done or doing a master's?
Done.
You've done?
Finally.
How did you find the time to do that?
Oh.
And what motivated, you've got your degree, so what motivated you to go back and do a master's?
Because it was in senior leadership, I looked at the opportunity through work to be funded to do, it was a master's degree apprenticeship. So It was actually 2 qualifications all at the same time, a busy job, then mum not being well, and thought, what am I doing here? It was supposed to be 2 years part-time. I think it took me 3.5 years before I graduated, but I achieved it. When I looked at what it entailed, I thought to go to the next level in strategic leadership, I thought, this contains a whole host of things that will take me out my comfort zone. It's not policing. It's nothing to do with policing at all. And can I do it? Well, one, can I learn? And what can I reflect and take back at work to make me better? So that's why I went for the double whammy of a master's degree apprenticeship. Yeah, it was hard.
But it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want the Cath legacy to be? Beyond the trial, beyond the film star, documentary star. 2 million views, was it? Or something?
2.1 million.
2.1 million.
A night.
What? You must have one of them IMDb, is it, when you get referenced? You probably have one of them.
Will I?
Yeah. You'll be getting an equity card before we know it. What do you want to be remembered for? What type of...
I'd like to so I can talk now about people that have influenced me or supported me through my career. It'd be lovely to think that there's other people that would say, oh, Cath helped me out along the way. I think that's how I'd like the legacy to be left.
Well, the one thing I would like you to do now is, this is going to be the most difficult thing of your career, which is to delve into our power jar. So our power jar is a jar full of questions by previous guests, okay?
Okay.
I mean, literally, it's tricky this. So I'm going to pass the jar to you, Cath.
Right.
You pick a question out, take a pause, think, who the heck wrote that one?
It?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to love this.
Should have brought my glasses.
Do you want mine?
Might do. I'll have a go. So I've got to read this, have I?
Yes.
What's a small thing that reliably makes you happy, even on a busy day? Honest answer?
Yes.
My wife.
Oh, look at that. That's every birthday, Valentine's. You said it on a podcast. Yeah. And I have one just because of everything you've done. Who would play you in the story of your life?
I'd like Serena Jones to play me.
Oh, yes. What a great, that's a good billing, that, Cath. It is a good billing. Cath Cummings, keep being awesome, keep being brilliant. I know you never stop. You're going straight from here to go and talk to students at Edge Hill. You're involved in our Power Pack for students at the City of Liverpool College. Thank you for all the stuff you do that equally people don't see as well. Thank you for vulnerable, authentic, and outstandingly you.
Thank you.
Subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review or follow us on socials. We are Power_net on Insta, TikTok and Twitter. Or We Are Power on LinkedIn, Facebook. And We Are _Power on YouTube.